So, a few years back, I stumbled upon one of the greatest storytellers that I have ever come across when scrolling through YouTube. His name? Nathaniel Drew. I never knew about the impact he would have on me when I first clicked on one of his videos. His videos were something that I have never seen before, and prior to watching his videos, I was always on YouTube for mostly the same reason: entertainment. I remember having this particularly odd feeling when watching his videos. He would go into deep discussions about a specific topic, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first started watching him, I would usually get lost halfway through the video.
I've been struggling with feelings of loneliness in the last week in particular. It's hitting me a lot harder than I was expecting.
But nevertheless, there was always something that held my attention, something that kept me watching until the end. And I never really knew the answer behind that until I started consuming more of his content. As I slowly got used to the style of Nathaniel's video, I noticed something that he did really well. He was always able to bring his viewers onto an amazing experience through his visuals. And so I thought that was the answer: to buy a super nice camera and create visually pleasing images. But little did I know how wrong I was until he released this video.
I want to share with you how I learned to tell stories, or really how I'm learning to tell stories, because I think I'm probably always going to be figuring things out.
And that's when I had the epiphany, the answer to my question: storytelling. Stories are a natural part of life. We use stories to connect the dots and to find answers. Humans are wired for stories, but yet, not many have taken the time to learn how to tell a great story. After that video, I soon came to realize the power of which great storytelling possess, and I was left craving for more. I wanted to learn more about this thing called storytelling, but despite many searches on Google, I couldn't find anything that came close to the style of storytelling that Nathaniel had and taught. Most of the teachings and knowledge on storytelling out there are catered for people who wants to be a public speaker or a scriptwriter. The knowledge that I consumed on storytelling felt kind of rigid and structured. It was always the same 3-act structure where you have the start, the climax, and the end. And despite not knowing what was lacking, I've always felt that I'm missing out on so much more. So last year, when Nathaniel and Johnny Harris, who is also another great storyteller, released a course on visual storytelling, I knew I had to get it. It was a perfect opportunity to learn more about why I was so captivated by how Nathaniel tells his stories. And truth be told, the value of this course is amazing. I have no regrets. I was quite amazed by how much clarity Nathaniel and Johnny had when explaining what stories meant for each of them. I thought they would explain story to be something more of a vague and abstract thing, but they were able to break this huge topic down and really gave me a lot of new perspective on storytelling. So, with that said, here are a few of the things that I've personally learned from this visual storytelling course. There are levels to storytelling. This was something really new to me when I first heard of them explaining it. I never really consciously thought about how stories can be divided into a few levels. Basically, there are a few ways to tell a story, and more specifically, linear and non-linear. The linear way of telling a visual story is basically showing the things you've done in chronological order. Whereas when you tell a non-linear story, you're in a sense shaping the pottery. You're deciding how to tell the most interesting story possible. And that means you might show some pictures or videos from day 3 or day 4 at the beginning to hook your audience in. Forward motion. This was a point that was made really clear ever since the start of this course. Every story must have forward motion. This basically means you have to move your story forward. One point has to lead to another. And this was, I could say, one of the biggest mistakes I found myself doing when in my early days of creating videos. I would just circle around repeating the same things to make a point. Storytelling forces you to slow down. If you are looking for a reason to document and share a story, this course encourages you by stating a ton of reasons you should do so. And one of them being, it forces you to slow down. When you have the intention of telling a visual story, it forces you to take a look at your surrounding to find interesting perspective to capture moments. And I personally found this to be really true. It makes my trip a lot more memorable and fulfilling. So, these are just some of the stuff that I like to share about what I've learned in this course. If you would like to check this out, there's a link in the bio and you can get 0% off your order because this is not a sponsored video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.